The Wildywyrm has been made a Wilderness Flash event today. Across Gielinor will soon be celebrating Valentine's Day, and a new Double XP Live event is around the corner. To get started with the news, the Double XP Live event is about to kick off, starting Friday, February 16th until Monday, February 26th, each starting and ending at 12 o'clock p.m. game time. So this is your pretty much standard Double XP Live event that we've had for some time now. You know the drill. In case you don't, it's a 10-day event where you have 48 hours of Double XP to use at your leisure. There's even a pause function if you don't want to use your 48 hours and do other activities in the meantime, and then continue on when you do want the double XP. If you won't be using all your hours, you can trade in an hour of double XP per day for credits to use in Nick the Trader's shop. So once again, that's Friday, February 16th until Monday, February 26th. Next thing that's right around the corner is Valentine's Day, and will be celebrated with loved up devotion sprites scattered around Gielinor, namely near the lodestones in Berthorpe, Varrock, Lumbridge, and Prifddinas. Catching one of these devotion sprites each day will net you a lovely gift box which contains either Heartmints or Oddmints if you're Iron Man, Valentine's chocolates, or the rose-tinted glasses. Devotion sprites will be rewarding a lovely gift box starting from February 9th and ending on February 15th. Once again, February 9th to the 15th. That said, with today's update, the Wildywyrm is now making a more scheduled appearance and is part of the Wilderness Flash events. This is going to be a special combat event similar to the King Black Dragon event, so get ready to take him on when the broadcast goes out each time his rotation rolls over. You'll find the worm reporting for duty near the source of the River Lum, south of the herb farming patch. Killing the worm will net you both wild and very wild rewards, like you do the King Black Dragon, but you also have a chance of the exclusive worm reward gland, which may contain worm spikes, hearts, or scalps, giving you another opportunity to gain these upgrade components. This event will fall in the rotation just after the Unnatural Outcrop event, which means the first spawn will be available at 2300 GMT after the release of today's update. If you're watching this later, it would have already been in rotation. Just know that it's after the Unnatural Outcrop. So there you have it. Nothing really changed with the Wildywyrm itself. It's just now a scheduled spawn rate, and you know exactly where it'll show up each time it does, and you'll get a broadcast like you would any other Flash events in your chat. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video so far, please hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet and you'd like to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Thank you. Last thing we're going to do before we close out is look at the patch notes and see what's been changed with today's update, so let's go ahead and check it out. Starting off with the community hit list, the large gap in the Music Maestro achievement details have been removed. Luck now improves the chances for Big Game Hunter to spawn more than one dinosaur. A full stop has been added at the end of the sentence for the inventory lock tooltip. Fixed an animation issue when spawning a pet overriding a Unicorn Stallion or Arctic Bear familiar. Grizzly Bears and Black Bears no longer appear purple when textures are disabled. And added steel armor to the Unicorn Stallion familiar to distinguish it from the Pearl Pet. Moving over to game jam changes, a new warning screen has been added when interacting with the chest of souls inside your player-owned dungeon. 3 spots from Compass Elite Clue maps have been moved to ground level to prevent a spinning compass needle. Spirit Attraction Potion duration has been extended from 6 minutes to 15 minutes. Players can now start sinkholes with 2 to 5 players. The Water Fiend familiar will now deposit Arc materials to the Arc storage or the bank as intended. And when starting the Tears of Guthix minigame, if you have the items and level required to cast the Enlightenment ability but have yet to cast it, Junior will now ask whether you still want to continue. Moving on to some general changes, switching from the Miso to the Taboo Pet override will no longer retain the incorrect texture. Death Skulls will no longer cause issues with the Dawn fights in the Deathless Chivalry quest. Players can freely use Death Skulls to kill skeletons without issue. Necromancy is now correctly displayed after using the Stat Spy spell. Added daily challenge streaks to the Quick Chat. The Perk Out achievement now counts active Tier 1 perks that have been permanently unlocked by completing breeding logs at Manor Farm. The Plague Jacket now can be equipped from the bank or saved and loaded from a preset. Lesser Smash has been added to the Attack Skill Guide. Boulder Pet settings no longer reset unintentionally. A player that activated Nastros Major Defense Reset should now have sufficient reputation to complete the upper Darkmare section of Branches of Darkmare quest. Fixed an issue where the workshop's roof was floating during the Battle of Fort Rinth quest. quest. Players are now limited to purchasing 3 membership passcodes with bonds per week. Naming of the overrides received during the Contagion Treasure Hunter promo should now be more consistent with the names displayed in the TH interface. Fixed an error in the chat message pop-up when using a portable flesher to create bows and crossbows. Created multiple instances of the Wizards and Dark Wizards towers being referred to as wizards with the apostrophe in the wrong place. Fixed a typo in the Treasure Hunter tutorial pop-up. A typo is fixed in the dialogue with Saren during the Extinction quest. Fixed an issue where Wild Jadevine could be killed with combat styles other than melee. Wild Jadevine can only be killed with melee now. Fixed an issue that would cause a force logout when charging the Nature Staff with runes. The chat message from the Divine Forge Phoenix is now not cut off when obtaining more than 4 gifts. Players should now receive appropriate messaging if they try to invite someone who is fighting monsters in the wilderness. The Ravensworn trait once again is not possible to acquire through re-rolling in the player-owned farm at Manor Farm. The Dominion Tower XP book interface has been updated and Necromancy has been added to the XP book's reward list. Fixed release date filtering, which was off by 1 day in the wardrobe. The Beast of Burden preset will withdraw selected items regardless of quantity in the player's bank. If the quantity is insufficient, the preset will withdraw and load what is actually available. Fixed an issue that would cause the Zaros kill counter in the God Wars dungeon to not reset when teleporting away from the area. And lastly, the Stasis Mace will now show the correct preview in the wardrobe and override two-handed weapons. That is it for your patch notes. Links to everything discussed in this video will be down in the description below. If you missed last week's video, it'll be on screen now, and if not, I will see you with the next RuneScape news coverage video. So until then, I am out. Aloha.